Hello student, class 9. Today I am going to continue the discussion on the chapter that is Mahamaya rebellion that I have already started to discuss. In the previous discussion I have given the causes of the Mahamaya rebellion, that is the socio-economic causes and the changes of the religious system. Through pike system also the common people suffered a lot. Here in this discussion, we will discuss how the rebellion began. And I have already mentioned that it began and it lasted for about more than 30 years, that is 3 decades. So we have already discussed that the cause of the exploitation done by the Ahom missionaries to the disciples of the Ahom Satras, and also murder and humiliation done to the Mahantas of the Mahamaya Satra were the cause of the beginning of the rebellion. But the rebellion didn't start abruptly, and the fire was shimmering inside the heart of the Mahamaya people, but it was not burned out immediately at the same time. But there were consequences that started the rebellion at a time. So here, always the Mahamaya rebellion was not a sudden event. It was the consequence of the long operation by the Ahom state machinery. So the fire which was simmering at the heart of the Mahamaya people was ignited by the activities of one powerful officer. His name was Kirti Chandra Borua. He was one of the Ahom officials. Actually, Kirti Chandra Borua was the disciple of Dihing Satra. And Dihing Satra belongs to higher class in comparison to the Mahamaya Satra. So always this Kirti Chandra, being the disciple of Dihing Satra, was a constant criticizer, loggerheads with the Mahamaya Satra. He used to criticize the system and order, the ritual, the rites of the Mahamayas, and through his selfish vested interest, he speeded up the process of the rebellion. So whenever the things come, he never missed any single opportunity to humiliate the Mahamaya Satras, and in that regards to it, the rebellion started. We can say that it is a contribution of Kirti Chandra which started the rebellion, because the rebellion started during the time of the official tenure of Kirti Chandra. Actually, Kirti Chandra was one of an influential ministers of Swargado Lakshmi Singha. During Kirti Chandra started. So it can be said that during the rule of King Lakshmi Singha, the Mahamaya rebellion started, and Kirti Chandra never missed any chance, a single opportunity to humiliate the Mahamaya Mahanta. Once Lakshmi Singha was on a boat ride. The history says like that. Why Lakshmi Singha was on a road ride, and Lakshmi Singha was accompanied by Kirti Chandra. You see, in those times, by the side of the river bank, the Mahamayas had the practice to build their temples, satras, by the side of the river. So as by the river, Lakshmi Singha, the King Lakshmi Singha was on the boat ride. So when the news came that the king, the Swargadev of the Ahom kingdom, was on a boat ride, and he could be seen in the river. So by the bank of the river, various disciples and the Mahanta came to see Lakshmi Singha. And here Mahanta greeted the king by folding his hand and joining it, that by doing namaskar towards the king. That means Mahanta pay homage to the king, as he was the supreme administrative head, and also is regarded as Swargadev. But the Mahanta did another thing, though while greeting the king, Mahanta ignored Kirti Chandra. Why? Because Kirti Chandra, he was the person at that time, he always humiliated a Mahamaya Mahanta. And in regards to it, the person who humiliates another person, it is obvious that the second person will never obey that person. And Kirti Chandra was ignored by Mahanta. Instead, Mahanta greeted the king. So the ego was hurt by the Kirti Chandra. The ego of Kirti Chandra was hurt and insulted. Kirti Chandra, actually he was an official, and his post was a Borburwa. Borburwa means he was one of the influential officer of the king's court. So Borburwa used the choices of verbal abuse to humiliate the Mahanta. So by this line, what you understand? By this line we can say that verbal abuse when used unconstitutional slang word towards the Mahanta, and he insulted the Mahanta by using certain unconstitutional word by a Borburwa. And in those times, pronouncing slang words to the Mahanta was also the supreme of the Satras, and also by a great and influential leader. It was not common in those times. So a few months later, as the Mahamuriya was angry in his heart, he didn't say anything. As the Mahamuriya was angry, a few months later again, two modern disciple leaders of Mahamaya Satra, these two name was Nahar Khora and Ragha Moran. These two disciples, actually they were senior disciples and these two disciples were sent to the court of the king with a herd of elephant. Why they were sent with a herd of elephant? To pay the annual tax to the royal palace. So the herd of elephant was in the form of the annual tax which has to be paid in the court of the royal palace. So when these two people went to pay the tax, that is in a form of herd of elephant, Kirti Chandra found many fault in the elephant which was brought for him, and Kirti Chandra not only insulted the two men, he also flogged Ragha Moran. And Nahar Khora's ear was cut. What is flogging? That means by beating up with a whip. Whip means in Hindi we call as chabuk. Chabuk se mara gaya. Nahar Khora's ear was cut down, and Ragha Moran's was flogged. And these two people were insulted so that they were injured also and insulted. They reached the Guru. These two people reached the Guru. As these two people were an influential disciple of the Guru, and these two people demanded for rebel. The Guru was also fighting with his sentiments when Kirtichandra had insulted him tremendously. So the Mahanta himself, burning inside, felt this was the right time, and he gave a call to all the disciples for revolt against the monarchy, thereby starting the rebellion officially by the Mohammedans. But also he suggested that under no circumstances the system of government should be changed. That is, no change of government system. No change of government system. And it was only that to overthrow the monarchy. That is, the Mohammedans tend to rule over the Ahom kingdom. So this was the beginning of the Mama rebellion, and here it can be understood that in a medieval feudal state like ours, that is in Ahom kingdom, revolts and uprisings were not unnatural. During the several course of years, we have been experiencing unnatural and clear-cut uprising, several uprising, and as long as the reign of the Ahom monarchy was in the control of strong and powerful rulers like Pratap Singh. You see, some of the rulers I need to mention this, like Pratap Singha, Gadadhar Singha, Rudra Singha, okay, Shiva Singha. These kings, these rulers were very strong enough that whenever any cause of the rebellion that has to be started, and the Mohammedans wanted to start a rebellion during this rule, the ruler was so strong that the Mohammedan did not maintain the courage to start a rebellion. But during the time of Lakshmi Singha was not an influential ruler over the kingdom. So the Mohammedans got enough chance to start a rebellion. Though during the time of Lakshmi Singha was not an influential ruler, and the other officers took the chance, took the opportunities, used the benefit of the incompetence of the king Lakshmi Singha, and thereby which hastened the starting of the revolt of the Mohammedans. So these very subjects, though dissatisfied during the tenure of this king, did not dare to revolt. The Mohammedans did not dare to revolt. But after Rudra Singha, that I have mentioned, Rudra Singha and Shiva Singha, the position of the Ahom monarchy gradually began to decline. A natural consequence of this decline of the monarchy was the advantage taken by many officials. Many officials took the advantage of the incompetency of the king, and also the advantage would take the officials would take to establish their own power. This led to misgovernance. The officials, because they were finding they wanted for their own powers and benefit, so there were the cause of misgovernance and chaos, facilitating the Mohammedan rebellion to raise their heads, to raise their voice against the monarchy, thus taking the Ahom monarchy one step closer to the fall. So this is the original cause of the revolt which hastened. It started during the reign of Lakshmi Singha, where Kirtichandra, who did not lose any chance to humiliate the Mahantas, and after the humiliation done to Nahar Khora, Ragamoran, influential disciples of the Mohammedans, as they had gone to pay the annual tax in the form of hearts of elephant. These two people were flogged, and one of ears was cut. So they went directly towards the Guru and demanded for rebel. And as a change, that the rebellion started, the Guru also found that it was a relevant time for starting of the Mohammedans, and they started the Mohammedans. Also, the Guru instructed the rebels that no change of the government systems would be there. The government system would be running over in the same administrative system, but only the monarchy would be overthrown and the Mohammedans would rule over the kingdom. The consequence can be said that during the tenure of the strong king in the kingdom, the rebels was not able to raise their courage to start a rebellion, because these people were stronger. But later, after Rudra Singha and Sima Singha, the later king who was incompetent, later kings who were incompetent for ruling over the kingdom, and as they were incompetent, these advantages were taken by the officials, greater officials, to establish their own power, and due to misgovernance and chaos, that facilitated the Mohammedan rebellion to rise their head. So in this way, the Ahom monarchy was taken away by starting the revolt. In the next day, we will discuss the event of the Mohammedan rebellion. So what happened during the rebellion? The rebellion, though started, it was suppressed consequently. Again it was suppressed, and it happened for 4 times. How it was started, how it was suppressed, though after suppression again it has to be started. So what were the causes of restarting the rebellion? As already today we have discussed the original cause of the starting of the rebellion for the first time. It was suppressed by the Ahom monarchy, Ahom missionaries, but again it was started again after suppression. So what were the causes? The causes were quite different in that case, a little amount, though the causes remained the same for the first time when it started, but there were some other addition for the causes that need to be started for the revolt. So for the time being, I remain in this part. Next day we will go through the event during the Mohammedan rebellion, what happened during the rebellion. I hope so you will understand, and do share this discussion. Thank you.